Hi, my name's Martin Shaw. I'm a long-term service user and I feel strongly about the government cuts. We're taking it off the poor again. Speed the rut, Mitch.
I've only just recently come out of hospital last November, settling down and getting my act together, and I've got support work and programs in place and all that lot. And if all that was taken away, I'll be back into hospital in no time, because I'm a vulnerable person.
I moved in here because I got a bit behind with the rent. You know, I was getting bullied a bit because I'm not as able as I used to be, so people are bullying me now. So I moved in here temporarily, I thought, at first. But then he's dragged on and on. Eventually, I'm in a wheelchair now, and it's, well, that's me.
I'm a paranoid schizophrenic. I've got a lot of mental health issues, especially since I became a Christian 13 years ago. My health has just gone downhill mentally. When things aren't going right for me, the devil interferes with my body and drives me out of my right mind.
I've been doing this job now only for about 16 months, but 7 years ago I lived here. Before I came here, I spent 25 years on the streets, and there came a point, a crisis in my life, when I needed a lot more help, and I came in here.
I'm homeless myself, so at the end of the day, yeah, right, I've been on the streets now for a week and a half. It's hard out of it, it's hard, very hard.
Before they cuts and everything, I don't know where to go. And I'd be up and down, so I want to do my best.
I worked ever since I was 16, straight from leaving school. It's only because I got made redundant that I had to lose my job, and then because I lost my job, I lost my house. Within 2 weeks, I lost it all. Do you know what I mean?
I thought I was somewhere stable until I get my property and then get my job and my home and that. But if that just feels like it's getting knocked off our feet, if you know what I mean. We're just going to be on our asses again. We're struggling.
I came into this line of work because I know from my experience that there are a hell of a lot of people out there on the streets that have got really a lot of potential, and they just can't realise it because they're stuck in their addiction or their social circumstances.
I'd say, like, if you've got a bad foot, your crutches, your support that you need to then, well, they're there basically pushing you the right direction.
All they're cutting is help for people often in desperate need. In this weather, especially with the frost at night, sleeping on the street is no great joke.
It's horrible being on the streets. No one to turn to. And without framework helping me out on this, I'd be homeless again. And it's just something I don't want to do again.
People that do want to sort themselves out and things like that, even the people that don't, where are they going to go? Do you know what I mean?
What's going to be happening is that a lot of people out there will be going back to their old ways.
I won't feel like getting help at all, because I like to be back on the streets doing mainly like the wrong things that you can get up to when you're on the streets.
If they've got nowhere else to live, where are you going to put that baby? In care. Then that mother got a bit upset. Yeah. Like, I am a mother. And that is really hard for me. Them kids not brought up as like a baby, they're not even born yet. Well, that goes, then she goes suffer, and all the kids go suffer.
No, nobody's safe really. You know what I mean?
Since I learned that no one else might be closing down because of the cuts, I'm starting to go backwards in myself mentally, and the devil's starting to have control over my life again, because I'm just going to be lost and on my own if they close the whole house. And I'm not going to have that mental support that I badly need. I'm going to have nobody to fill my mind with love. I'm just going to have the devil on my back. And I can't face going back into that situation again.
We didn't get this far for nothing. We got this far because we got the support and the foundation in place. And they're going to take away all this foundation and support. Everyone's going to be left in limbo.
What worries me is that, say, 10, 12 years ago, we was all living on the streets, begging on the streets and drinking on the streets. So I think that when the people start to go back, try to go back on the streets, I don't think it's going to be very acceptable. And I think the council and the police force and all, they're going to try to stop them. In the meantime, all these hostels are closing. What worries me is what's going to happen to those people.
I mean, a lot of these guys feel like the world doesn't care about them anyway, and that is just, you know, it's compounded by all these decisions that are being made. You know, the government's supposed to be representing its people in its best interests, and that's just not happening.
They don't see our point of view. I mean, they don't see our point of view. If we was, they give our point of view to all those homeless people, yeah, it'd be different. You know what I mean?
You put yourself in my position. Spend a night or spend a day and night in a hostel where not just myself but a lot of people in similar environments, and see how you be able to understand what people's support means to them.
Look at me, not the money. You know, I'm a human being. I mean, we're just pounds and pence to them.
I'd really like to know how they cope if they was in our shoes. They wouldn't want the cuts then, would they? Do you know what I mean? They're only cutting because they've got the power.
I can honestly see a riot happening soon, because there's too many people out there who are vulnerable and who've got no voice, so they can speak to people. And that's what people need, is someone to speak to.
I don't know what I'd do because I'm not the government, and I don't know where they can make them cuts because I haven't got that experience. But I know I wouldn't close down hostels that vulnerable people need and put them on the streets, the poorest people in the community.
Forget about the money and everything else, put the people first. Because they're more important, their lives at stake.
I mean, it's like the government doesn't care about the poor people on the streets, the people that are worst off in society, and at the same time they're on about having a 1% pay rise. They're making these cuts and yet they're wanting a pay rise, and yet they're taking everything away from the vulnerable people. If they can't afford to look after us, how can they afford to have a pay rise?
Stop being up there, you know, why up there? Bring down to a level. We have a problem down here, and I think it's about time you brought yourself down to that level so that you can understand our concerns.
It's a reality, and if they don't believe us now, they'll see it when it's too late.